for the shift, which prior to tonight has only been available theatrically before his only son. Okay, I have just been informed that no one has been hearing sound, so hopefully you can hear me now. I'm Brock Heasley, the writer and director of The Shift, and we got an absolutely stacked lineup of a live stream for you tonight. Not only am I going to be announcing a new Empty Tomb gift and teasing some future gifts, I'm also going to be sharing with you the teaser trailer for the Shift feature film. This is something that prior to tonight has only been available in theaters in front of his only son, and now you get to see it here tonight in this live stream. Also, going to be doing a watch party with you. We've had a number of behind the scenes videos that we've produced for each week of production, and if you haven't had a chance to catch up with all of them, you're in the right place because we're going to be showing you all 5 weeks. Should be a lot of fun to, especially for me, to think back on what we did and what we accomplished in a very, very short amount of time. I'm also going to be hitting you with a post-production update. I'm sure you're wondering what has been going on since we wrapped shooting and what is currently going on. I'm excited to let you know what's going on with that. And we're going to have a live Q&A tonight at the very end. The other thing about this live Q&A is that everyone who submits a question in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you are, submit a question in the comments. When you submit a question, you are automatically entered to win an Empty Tomb oxidized silver necklace. And you can see what this looks like. If you go to angel.com/helives, you can see what these necklaces look like. This is these oxidized silver. It's the darker one that's not in the middle, but I can do left and right. It's the one on the left. That is what we're giving away tonight. That's actually $74.99. If you pay for it, we're just giving it away for you tonight. So enter to win just by leaving a question in the comments, a question for me. And at the end of the night, the question that I answer last is the winner of our silver oxidized Empty Tomb necklace. Okay, all right, let's jump right into it. So we do have a new Empty Tomb gift tonight. And for those of you that missed our last one or are just not aware of this at all, the Empty Tomb is a symbol that I created a number of years ago and actually did launch some jewelry. I did create some necklaces and with a small team of people here in where I live. And with my limited resources at the time, if you're familiar with the story of the Shift, you know that it's very much it was something that was developed during a time of, to be honest with you, poverty for me. And that is also the time I was developing this symbol and this necklace. And it was the worst time to launch jewelry, but I did it. And I sold everything I had, but I just wasn't in a position to create more or even to market the thing. And so here we are years later, and this symbol and this necklace has become a big part of the Shift feature film. Now, of course, you're not going to see the Shift feature film for a while, but the symbol itself is very, very special and very, very important. And the character, the person who wears this necklace in the film is played by Elizabeth Tabish. She's playing Molly in the Shift short film. And here is Liz telling you a little bit about why she connected so strongly with this symbol and this necklace.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Tabish. You might know me from The Chosen. I play Mary Magdalene. But most recently, I just got a really wonderful opportunity to play a character in The Shift from Angel Studios. I play Molly Garner, the wife of Kevin, who's the protagonist. And I loved this character so much. She was so full of life and love and strength. She and Kevin go through a really terrible tragedy in the movie. And in one of the scenes, Kevin gives her this beautiful gift to remind her of her faith and to remind her of the life that Jesus promises and the hope that comes with it. And it's actually this necklace that I'm wearing right now. It's this lovely symbol, which is of Jesus's tomb with the stone rolled away. So it's this beautiful symbol of his resurrection. And it even says on the back of it, it says, "He lives." So in the movie, Molly wears the "He lives" part close to her heart. It's sort of a personal reminder, and that's how I'm going to be wearing it as well, because I'm really excited to say that this is going to be available to give as gifts to your loved ones, especially during the Easter season. It's just this perfect time to be reminded of the resurrection. And of course, you can flip it around and wear it this way, where "He lives" is showing, and it is more of a conversation starter. But I just think the design is so lovely and subtle and meaningful. And I hope you all like it as much as I do.
And as it turns out, a whole lot of you like it. It's been really, really exciting for me and for Liz and for everybody at Angel to see how much everyone is really connecting with this symbol. It is a very simple symbol, but it has a very deep meaning, and Liz expressed that so beautifully. And one of the things that we're watching very closely as we're seeing the word spread about this symbol and about this necklace is that we're seeing people requesting different things and wanting variations on this necklace and also things besides that. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But tonight, I'm really pleased to announce that we have heard you. And tonight, as of right now, you can go to angel.com/he lives and you can actually purchase the necklace in gold. So that is available right now. It's $89.99. This is 14 karat gold plated. So it's our sterling silver with a gold plate on it, 14 karat, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I know, and it's it's one of those things where people either wear silver or they wear gold. Well, now you finally have the option, whichever one you prefer. You can go ahead and get at the store right now, angel.com/he lives. So I hope those of you that do wear gold, I hope you'll check that out. I think it's cool, but it's also just the beginning. Like I said, the response to the empty tomb symbol is so strong, and it's kind of amazing that it's so strong because this movie hasn't even come out yet. You all don't even know how it's used in the film, but I think what's so powerful about this symbol is that it was created apart from the shift, and it also very much works outside of it. And so it's something that has a deep meaning besides the movie. And I think when you see it in the movie, I think it's going to have an even a greater impact at that point. I think the movie is going to be even more special for those of you that show up wearing them. I've heard people say that they want to go to the theater wearing their necklace, and I would love to see that. I think that'll be a really cool moment. So we have been watching the comments and the reviews very carefully, and I can tell you that already in the works right now, and I'm just letting some cats out of the bag here. Already in the works for the empty tomb, we've heard you as far as the size of the thing. A lot of people are like, "Wow, I really love it, but I wish it was a little bit bigger." That is in the works. We also have in the works earrings. We are heading into Father's Day here in June, and we are working on a tie tack in time for Father's Day, so that's coming. We've also seen requests for a journal. That is definitely something that is in the works, and I think there's even more than that. That's just all that I can remember right now. So this is something where we are hearing you, we are listening, and these things are going to be coming, and in some cases coming really, really soon. But of course, it's not just about the empty tomb. We also have this whole movie and a couple of things that we've heard you ask for shift merch. We've heard people ask for the poster, and we've heard people ask for a hat. And both of those things are also in the works, which I'm really excited by because I've been wearing this plain black hat for years now. I need a shift logo hat. That's what I need. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing come up. And then as far as the poster goes, we have a poster that we came out with not too long ago. But what you don't know is that we are in the middle of developing already another poster, a theatrical poster that reflects the film, features the actors and things like that. And I don't have anything to show you tonight, but I've seen the mock-ups, and it's beautiful, and I think you're going to love it. And when that becomes available, we will, of course, put that for sale in the store as well. So there's lots of stuff that's coming up. And for those of you that are also wondering, like, oh gosh, I missed the chance to invest, I'm looking for a way to support the film, this is a great way to do it. This is a great way to do it. The sales that we make through our store, those help us and when it comes to making the movie and completing the movie. So it's a great way to support the film. So yeah, you can head on over to angel.com/he lives to check out our empty tomb gifts, including the new gold plated 14 karat necklace. And then if you go to shop.angel.com/shift, you can see our shift store, which of course includes the empty tomb as well. All right. So coming up a little bit later is we are going to have our teaser trailer premiere. And that's what a lot of you are here for, and it is coming very, very soon. We're going to show this online for the first time. But right now, I want to get into a little bit of a watch party with you. Let's see what we did to get to the point where we actually have a teaser trailer to show you. So what you're about to see, this is going to be the 5 weeks of production. Very short videos showing you, chronicling the 5 different weeks of production that we just completed last month. So this is very fresh stuff. Some of you have already seen these videos on our YouTube. I think it's really fun to see them all together. I think you get a real sense of the passion and the journey. For me, I have a very hard time watching these videos without tearing up a little bit. And I've heard many say that they've had kind of a similar experience. And I know that a lot of you watching even joined us on set. And so you might see yourself in these videos. And don't forget to, as we're watching these together, it's a perfect time, dip into the comments. Leave me a question. Leave me a question. You automatically enter to win a silver oxidized necklace. I'll be giving one away at the end of the live stream tonight. And also, you're definitely going to want to stick it out, not only through this watch party, not only for the teaser trailer, but after the watch party, I'm going to slip in an extra behind the scenes video featuring Neal McDonough talking about his role as the benefactor. This is something you've never seen before. So we're going to slip that in here. This is just for the live stream, just for tonight. But that's enough preamble. Let's get into it. Here is a look at the 5 weeks of the Shift feature film production.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like sci-fi if it's done correctly. The Shift is a really, really solid script that makes you think.
We're here to tell a story, and we're here to make a good piece of art, but along the way, I believe that is so well served by a team that functions well together, and that has certainly been the case with The Shift thus far.
Brock, our director and writer, has spent so much time developing the story. He's world building, and it's impressive to watch.
Hey, first of all, guys, good morning. Welcome to day 1 of The Shift.
Perhaps the biggest thing to understand is that on a normal day, we'll shoot 3 or 4 or 5 pages of dialogue. But on our first day, while we're still getting our sea legs and still hitting our stride, we signed up for 9+ pages of dialogue.
Of course, we kicked that week off with the longest page count day by far of our entire shoot.
I had my eyes wide open that day 1 was a colossal risk. Thanks be to God, we live to see another day.
This is the week when you really don't know how everything is going to come together, because you've got a team of people who have never worked with each other before. They all got to come together at the same time.
We make our best guesses that we're going to put the right athletes on the playing field to form a great team, but you never really know until the game starts. And the thing that I'm very happy to report about week 1 is that there's beautiful energy on set.
2 cameras, eh, Mark?
When you have projects like The Shift out there, it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing.
The Shift is a movie that takes place in a world in which there are many worlds.
The Shift is one man's harrowing journey through the multiverse.
And Kevin finds himself in this dystopian, noir, dark world.
All the while trying to work his way back to the woman he loves.
In each of our decisions, each action we take creates another world. And the question the movie asks is this hope ever going to pay off? So the Masonic Temple was one of the more incredible locations we have on the shoot, and we got it done this week.
So beautifully weathered, perfectly suited for what we had envisioned for the Viking View Theater.
You know, the peeling paint is just layers of it. I mean, it tells that at one point it was beautiful and now this is just decay.
The way Catherine Tucker and our production design and art teams and prop department built the projection room in which John Billingsley plays the proprietor of the Viking View Theater.
So we just kind of try to bring the story to life with props and with set dressing, and DP weighs in very heavily. Ed Lucas is so talented.
Plus, we had our asylum was in the Masonic Temple. We got Kevin meeting up with Tina and Rose, and Chris just absolutely killed that scene. I mean, it was so powerful seeing what Rose was doing and just the pathos that she brought to this broken person.
She approaches her craft fearlessly. To see her play an unhinged Tina in the asylum. And what a lot of people perhaps don't realize is Rose goes to that place take after take after take from numerous angles. And again, she has to go to that place emotionally. I just have a lot of respect for an actor who can do that and do that well.
That looked great.
We got Neal back this week, and we brought him back for the climax of the film.
Watching the finale be shot, maybe my highlight of this experience thus far. And when a team of actors gels like they did that day, that was really a thing of beauty.
That was by far the most powerful stuff.
Back when we talked about week one of The Shift, I think I mentioned that there was a really good energy on set at the outset. The remarkable thing is that we've been able to sustain that. In The Shift, because it works so well visually, we shoot through the rain. And this crew stuck with it in such an exemplary way, and I'm so proud of the entire team.
Without that, you know, you're not going to have something as great as what I believe we're going to be able to show on the big screen.
In our 5 weeks of shooting The Shift, we move around and cover a lot of territory in greater Birmingham, except for 2 weeks where we occupy one space for the entire week. First was the Masonic Temple in week 2, where the finale of the film happened. But the other big set piece in The Shift is the week we spent at the King's Inn in downtown Birmingham.
We spent the entirety of week 3 in and around this motel, and that's Chris's world, that's Kevin's world.
And when we started to think about who would best inhabit the role of Kevin, a character who navigates so much territory in the multiverse, I knew Chris had the acting chops to truly own this character in a unique and very fulfilling way.
So many layers of this character have come to life in the playing and the telling of this story. Desperate situations. It was a big week. Kevin feels like his life is futile and that his journey's futile and that he's at the end of his rope.
Yeah. All right, boys, you ready? Question is, are you ready?
Here we go, stand by. It's just going to be the run-in. Just the run-in.
Got it. Love it. Yep.
Week 3 was a week that was tough. The first day of week 3 was Neal's last day. We shot this incredible scene where Neal is facing off with Chris and Sean Astin is in the room and there's a lot of drama happening, and of course Neal on his last day absolutely brought it. Second day was 66 setups. I was sick as a dog all day long.
On the day that Brock was feeling his worst, we executed 66 setups. I don't know how best to put that in layman's terms, but it's a Herculean day in film production. But to have a director willing to do that under those circumstances, to have a leading man willing to exert what he needed to physically to make that day, it was really something to behold. A day we'll not soon forget.
Tell me when you guys are rolling again. So I was in there rehearsing and I was thinking about my answers for EPK. The truth of this experience, the physical making of this movie has been an intense pleasure.
Do you dare to follow me down?
Chris has this great way of playing Kevin, which was something that I didn't necessarily see in the character, but that he saw right away when he read the script.
When you realize that he's a power player on all these other worlds and all these other multiverses, then you realize that he's capable of causing great harm to people and to things. But this Kevin that I'm playing, Kevin the Refuser, is just, he's not that guy and he always chooses, but he's capable of it.
Chris plays those moments so well and plays the aggression so well, and what you end up with is this really layered character that I think is even more layered than what was written.
But we also demanded a lot from Chris in week 3.
But I'll tell you, the real hero of this week really was Chris. We put him through his paces. All of those different scenes that we had him do, all the different looks.
Much of Kevin's journey threads through this last resort hotel.
And that's where he lives, it's where he eats, it's where everything happens for him, where he goes back to.
You're rarely given the opportunity to sort of level up and to find yourself doing the thing that you hoped that you'd get to do starting out as a young actor. And this job is that fulfillment for me. Like, it's a, you can cry.
He's our Kevin, and he always was. It's a treasure and it's a treat to work with him and to see him put that character on screen. So this is our 4th week, and that means we are in the home stretch. Now I'm looking at it and I'm seeing way more behind us than I am in front of us.
It's very exciting heading into the home stretch, knowing that I think we're onto something really special. You know, with any film we make, the canvas on which we tell our story is such a critical element of our process. And from the moment we stepped foot into the Sloss Furnace factory, we knew that this location was going to be a huge character in the shift.
And one of the first places we visited was Sloss Furnace, and it was one of those like incredible locations that made us think, wow, whatever we do, we have to shoot in this place. So much so that I went back, I looked at the script, and I just thought through every single scene and just tried to figure out what could we rewrite that it would actually fit at Sloss Furnace.
You can just create your own world, and that's why this story was so interesting to me, and that actually was a big component as to why I wanted to be a part of this.
We're so grateful as storytellers to have the opportunity to put all this to work. I know that what's on the page, the script is so important, the actors that we cast, the crew we put around the movie. Being able to tell the story in the right environment, and I think we've found that with Sloss. All of our crew positions are really critically important, of course. One that is vitally important is the role of the second assistant director. But what that person does is largely corral and navigate and orchestrate and shepherd our background extras.
My primary objective today, we have a huge kind of crowd protest scene, and I have a group of people that are going to be behind that barricade back there, and they are protesting the injustice of our Lancers.
Over 150 extras.
My job is just to take that crowd, make it look as big and as active as possible in the scene, so that when we watch the scene in the movie, and you've added in all the sounds and everything, it looks as big as it will probably sound and feel on camera.
In the months leading up to producing The Shift, Brock and I talked so often about the locations for the movie. I wonder if we ever allowed ourselves to quite imagine that they would be as perfect as what we've realized here in Birmingham.
I read the script and I feel like I have a grasp on it, but being here, being in these locations is really just adding such a layer to the environment that I'm just kind of watching it in awe, but I'm like, no, I'm in the scene.
Birmingham just checks all the location boxes for us. What a pleasure, after having spent many months in daily contact with Brock, to watch him step into executing what we've been discussing for hours and hours and hours on end over all these months. It's a real joy to watch that vision that he's been incubating for years finally take flight. He looks with wonder and amazement at the cast and the crew and the locations, and I know he's full of gratitude. And as a producer, it's really exciting to see a director step into what he's dreamt of doing and to do it well.
Week 5, final week of filming. To end the entire shoot, to end the movie, it was Chris acting against himself. To end with him and just him with this crew was special.
Week 5 has been quite a departure from previous weeks on The Shift. It has been a whirlwind. Here on the last night of production, it's natural to look back over the preceding 25 days of shooting. It's going to be a romance between Kevin and Molly, and it's going to be a mystery with lots of intrigue with Neal McDonough and Sean Astin.
Brock, our filmmaker, has lived with this story for a long time. He has built out the world in real detail. As a science fiction fan, it's really fun to play with that.
We saw Liz in earlier weeks. She popped in and did a few days here and there, but this was Liz Tabish's big week on the shift.
The script was just incredible. It was exciting and it was meaningful. And I also really loved the idea of being able to play this character that exists in lots of different realities, and I thought that was going to be a really exciting challenge to find different variations of the theme of Molly, you know.
Today's episode, Elizabeth Tabish, star of The Chosen.
I had high hopes that Liz Tabish and Chris Palaha would make a great pairing as Kevin and Molly, but I could not have dreamt that it would go as good as it did.
I feel like the message often in sci-fi stories are about love and about human connection and what it means to be human, and I love those stories.
Watching her work has been a highlight of week 5 for sure. Back here behind me, there's a crew full of people. You can sort of just feel the sense of excitement and gratitude that we've just been lucky to be part of a very special production experience. Man, thanks be to God here on the last day. We made it, and we made it well.
I can't help but think about Ken Carpenter, who took me and this film as his own and assembled this crew to make it happen. Without Ken, none of this would happen.
For the last year, to walk closely with Brock and to begin to more fully understand the vision for this movie that he had in his head, and to see it all coalesce as beautifully as it has. It's a really special feeling here as production is winding down. It's been an incredible adventure.
So here we are, we're at the end of 5 weeks. We just wrapped 15 minutes ago. And I can't even talk about that without tearing up. It's a moment of deep, deep gratitude for me. This is one of the best nights of my life. This has been one of the best 2 months of my life. And I can't wait to see what's next and what's ahead.
Well, for an amazing shoot, that's a picture up on the shift.
All right. It is hard to watch that. It is hard to watch that. I was really, really raw when we shot that final interview, and they pulled me off of the party everybody was having in the garage. Everybody's drinking champagne and in my case cider, and they pulled me out and said, "Okay, you got to do one more interview." And they got me right in the moment of the rush of everything. It was pretty impactful. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that look into our production. It was a really, really special time. It flew by in some ways, and in some ways it just dragged. You're talking about 12 to 14 hour days for most of us, and certainly for me. But I really did love every minute of it, except for that day when I was sick. That day was terrible. I hated that day. Other than that, it was a great experience. So I got something special to show you now. I promised that an extra behind the scenes video was coming your way, and here it comes. And right after that, we are going to show the teaser trailer. So I know you've been waiting for that. Hang on, it's coming in just a second. But before that, here is Neal McDonough talking about his role as the benefactor.
The Shift is one man's harrowing journey through the multiverse, where he encounters a particularly nefarious adversary at every turn.
When they first asked me, do you want to play the devil? I said no. And then I thought about it. And I said, well, who better to play him than someone who gives his whole being to God? So I said, well, if anyone should be playing it, it should be me. And I want to make sure that I suck the audience in to make everyone realize how tantalizing the devil is at times. That's what I'm playing. I'm playing a guy that really messes with those people who are struggling, who may be doing too well, who may think they have it all. Oh, you think you have it all? Oh, you think you're better than everything? watch what I can do. And the other side of the benefactor is, playing this character, I want to make sure that by the end of this piece, like I said earlier, that you really despise me. I want the audience to really understand and hate the devil. And hopefully by doing so, will make people think, maybe I should try a little bit harder to be a better husband, a better dad, a better worker, a better child of God, better brother to whomever. And that's kind of my goal with the character.
How great is Neal, right? I cannot wait for you all to see his performance. I've seen Neal in a lot of things over the years, going back to Band of Brothers and Minority Report and even Captain America and even Desperate Housewives. I've seen Neal in so many different things. I personally believe, and I am completely and utterly biased, but I personally believe that his performance as the benefactor is the best performance he's ever given. I really believe that. I think what he does is absolutely tremendous with the role. In the behind the scenes, I talked about how Chris added a layer to Kevin that I didn't see coming. I feel the same way about Neal. He added some layers in there to the character that I did not see. As much as I've lived with this story for as many years as I have, Neal found some additional things in there to put into the character that is just really, really exciting. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. Hey, a couple of quick notes before we show our teaser trailer. About to show that right now. If you leave a question, if you're trying to enter to win our silver oxidized necklace, if you leave a question in the comments to enter that, be sure and put a question mark on your question. Our team is looking through all of the different streams and all the different comments, but if there's no question mark, it's really hard for them to spot your question. So make sure you put a question mark in there. And I know also that we've had some empty tomb necklace sales while we've been talking. I don't know if they're popping up on the screen or not, but I have a few names here. I just want to shout out to Trisha from Los Angeles, who just bought a necklace. Susan from, oh my gosh, MS. Why am I blanking? Is that Missouri? No, that's not Missouri. Maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, whatever state MS is, I'm sorry, I don't know. And Mississippi, of course, it's Mississippi. Sorry. Susan from Mississippi, thank you. Martha from Florida also just bought an empty tomb necklace, and Patrick from Washington just bought an empty tomb necklace. Very, very cool. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you love it. I think it comes in an amazing package. I think you will love it. I know you will. Okay, I'm trying to think. Have we taken care of everything? You're probably shouting at me from behind your phone. Just show the teaser trailer already. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. This teaser trailer is something that we put together in the 48 hours after we finish shooting. This is a teaser trailer, okay? And I say that specifically. What you're about to see is very much a teaser. It is different than what you may think of as a full trailer, and you'll understand that in just a second. Okay, so here we go. This is the teaser trailer for The Shift feature film. This is your first look. All right, there you go. And as you probably saw at the end of that, we are planning on coming out early next year with this film, and a lot of people are asking that in the comments. What did you think? Let me know in the comments. Let us know. What did you think of the teaser trailer? I'm guessing that most of you tonight, that you're seeing this for the first time, it's not quite the theatrical experience, but I hope that there is a power to that trailer already, and I think that there is. I know it goes by really fast. It's only a minute long, so do you want to see it again? I think it is worth checking out again. Let's roll that trailer one more time. Let's check it out. All right, there you go. The Shift teaser trailer. It is not common for a film to release a teaser trailer a month after they have wrapped shooting. That is not a common thing. So I hope that you enjoy it. I want to shout out this very small team of people that put that together. Steven, Mike, Morgan, and myself. I was involved in that too. I actually edited that trailer personally. That was what I wanted you to see. And, on the heels of that, I'm sure you're wondering, okay, well, what else are we doing? We did this trailer. What else are we doing? Well, what we've been doing in the past month, and this is your post-production update. In the past month, we've been working very hard on the film. My editor and I, especially, we have been deep in the editing bay, putting together the first cut of the film, which we wrapped less than a week ago. So the film does exist in a complete form. There's no visual effects. There's no sound. It hasn't been colored properly. But it does exist as an edit that you can watch. Well, you can't watch it, but I can watch it. And I have watched it many times. All I can really say about that is that I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing so far. And so I'm looking forward to finishing that process. And yes, moving on to color and sound and music too. Dan Hasseltine and Matt Nelson, the composers on The Chosen, they're also our composers, and I'm very eager for them to start work. And so that's going to be happening really soon. There's a lot of work to do still to get this film across the finish line. Other things that are happening right now is you've just seen the teaser trailer. What you don't know is that we are deep already into the process of creating our full trailer, our first official full trailer. This would be a traditional trailer where you would have dialogue and music and all of those things. And I've already seen a really terrific cut of that. And I can't tell you exactly when that's going to be available to watch, but just to say that things are happening. And we're already thinking more about how to get this film in front of you and when we can show you. I want to show you everything right now, but that's a bad idea. We want to show you things when they're ready. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the next year. This is going to be a really exciting film to follow along with. Angel Studios, as you know, is so great about connecting audiences with the films, with the creators. And so we just have a lot of things that we're going to be doing to make those connections with you and to bring you alongside us in this process. Because after all, so many of you are actually investors in this film. And we want you to be a part of this post-production process and to help us spread the word, of course. Now, if you want to see that trailer again, I have really, really good news for you. As of 15 minutes ago, it went live on our YouTube channel. So now you can share it with friends and you can actually see the version that we put in theaters. That's what's on our YouTube channel, which had a little bit of BTS behind the scenes footage before the trailer. So it's a great thing to share with your friends because you can send them the link to the trailer on our official Shift Film YouTube channel. You can send them that link and it actually kind of tells them a little bit about the film before they get into the teaser trailer. So they actually kind of know a little bit of what they're looking at. So that's available right now. But also coming up right now is we have our Q&A, and I have a necklace to give away. So somebody is about to win one, but I'm ready. Let's hit me with some questions here, and let's see how many we can knock out before we all have to say goodbye. First question from Your Image 20. That is a mistake. Maybe we can get that fixed. I don't know who this is from exactly. They say, my son, John Avery, would love to know what was your favorite moment in the entire process. I'm assuming it's process of shooting the film, because we're definitely still making the film. I mean, in the middle of that process. My favorite moment, my mind immediately goes to that last night. My favorite moment was probably, that was from Amanda Duncan, that question. My favorite moment was probably the moment when we wrapped our final shot, which was not an exciting shot. It was just a shot of Chris Palaha as Kevin, walking through the hallway, which he did great, but it wasn't that exciting. And then when it was over, and we called cut, and everybody cheered, and my wife was right there, and I got to hug her. She has been right by my side this whole journey, and so that was a huge celebratory moment for us. We've been through a lot to get to this point, and it was really important to me to have her there with me. So wrapping that final shot, having her right there, and being able to give her a hug, that was a big deal. And then soon after that as well, being able to give hugs to the crew and just celebrate with the cast, and having a moment with producer Ken Carpenter, who has also been one of the more instrumental people in bringing this film. That celebratory moment, that was probably my favorite moment. Okay, let's see what other questions we have here. This is from Cheryl. She says, there's a thing covering her question on my end. Okay, there it's gone. Cheryl says, what's something that really positively surprised you during the making of this film? That's a great question, Cheryl. There were so many different surprises, not all of them positive, that's for sure. There's always these pitfalls and these potholes that you hit along the way. Film is one of those things where one thing going wrong can literally spell total disaster for everything. And so as those things pop up, you really got to knock them down as fast as you can. But you didn't ask that question. You wanted to know what positive surprises there were. I think probably the most positive surprise to me was how well, and I say surprise as though like I didn't expect this. I mean, I certainly hoped for it. How well our cast gelled together, how good their chemistry was. Everybody worked so well together, and that's a surprise only because we didn't actually do any real auditions for any of the major parts in the film. The auditions we did were for some of the smaller roles. People were there for a day or two, but for all of the larger roles in the film, it was really just about looking to actors that I was familiar with and reaching out to them and saying, hey, do you want to come play with us? And we did that for pretty much all the roles that you can think of. And so it was really one of those things where when we got on set the first day, that was my first chance to see what they were going to do with the character. And then that was their first chance to see how they were going to work with their scene partner, which in most cases, since he's in 98% of all the scenes, was Chris Palaha. And of course, Chris, I think, is one of those people who has, chemistry with a vegetable. He's just one of these guys that just like really connects with people. And he brought that to bear on the role of Kevin. But I don't want to take away from our other actors as well. They all just really dialed into their characters in really specific ways and played so very well off of each other. So seeing that was really, really exciting. We've had some people just purchase. Let's see. Margaret from Delaware just bought an MT2 necklace. Thank you, Margaret. I hope you enjoy that. Let's see. I have a thing here I'm trying to process, but I am not having a lot of clarity on that. Sorry. Brad, I'm just going to shout out Brad. Your message did not make total sense to me, so I'm going to have to skip over that for right now. Let's see. Oh, this is from Andre Lott. Will Angel Studios give out free tickets to all of their films, just like His Only Son? Let's see. Oh, that's what Brad is trying to tell me. He's trying to help me out with this. So I guess the question would be to you guys, actually, that whether or not that, I think that really made sense for His Only Son, and I could see it making sense for The Shift, but it really depends on whether or not you guys want to do that. And so I'm going to put that question back out to all of you. Would you like to see a pay it forward system applied to The Shift? Is that something that you'd be interested in doing? For those of you that don't know, pay it forward just means that you are able to, through somewhere on a website or whatever, you're able to pay for someone else who maybe can't afford to go to the theater. You would be able to pay for their ticket, and they'd be able to claim that as their own, and then they'd be able to attend the theater and enjoy the film. So if that's something that you think would be interested in doing, please let us know in the comments if that's something that we should set up. Would love to hear your feedback on that. Kyler Cook asks, Brock, do you have a cameo in the film? Yes, I do have a cameo in the film. It's very, very brief. And when I shot it, it was what I'm playing. I'm playing a director. I'm playing a movie director, and I'm actually talking to Liz. And in the movie, you're not going to hear anything I'm saying. But it was a really fun thing to do. It was really just like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not even sure how long I did it, but it was just improv. Me and Liz just kind of bouncing off of each other. For some reason, I adopted the persona of a really jerky director to do this scene with her, and it was a lot of fun to play. And in fact, I got so wrapped up into it, I realized after like 3 minutes that I'm the actual director, and so I have to call cut. I kept waiting for somebody else to call cut, but that wasn't happening, and so I was like, oh, I guess I'm the one who has to do it. I'm not an actor in any way, shape, or form, but that was really fun to do. And you're going to see me pop up for like, not even, I think, a full second in the film. It's pretty quick. All right. Do we have any more questions? This one is from Rachel Rodriguez. What surprised you the most when working with Neal McDonough? He is one of my faves. So I hadn't had the chance to work with Neal before this film, and it was a real pleasure. He's as much as he's done, as you can imagine, he's a consummate pro. I think that's the thing that surprised me the most were some of his choices. Some of the choices that he made in the middle of a scene that we never talked about. We talked a lot about the character of the benefactor, who's our bad guy in the film. We talked a lot, Neal and I, before we started shooting, about the character and about, how he should be played and things like that. But even with all of the talk that we had done, there were things that he did, really specific choices that he made as the benefactor that I just did not see coming. And a lot of those choices are in the film because they're really interesting and they're really good. And I'm not going to spoil it for you at all. All right, next question. All right, here we go. One more question. Here we go. This is our last question. This person is the winner of our silver oxidized empty tomb necklace. Who is it? Who gets it? Sherry Denny. Congratulations, Sherry. I'm going to answer your question, but you're going to want to go ahead and message us on one of our social pages, preferably the Shift Films Facebook page, and give us just message us, and we'll take it from there. We'll communicate with you how to get that necklace over to you. But congratulations, you just won a silver oxidized empty tomb necklace. If you want to get your necklace, head on over to angel.com/HeLives. Okay, Sherry's question is, which character do you at yourself most in? Which character do you see yourself most in? I'm going to assume that's essentially her question. That's a really good question. I think for me, every single one of the characters is an expression for me of some part of myself. Yes, even the benefactor, even the bad guy. I see myself in all of them. And which one do I see the most in? Probably Kevin. I think, in fact, at one point on set, Chris stood next to me. I was wearing a hoodie and I was wearing my black hat and I was wearing my glasses. And at one point, Kevin, the character, wears a black knit cap, black glasses, and he's wearing a jacket with a hood on it. And Chris stood next to me and he was like, huh? And he's like, yeah, this is what directors and writers do. They just write themselves into their movies. And there's some truth to that. I think, one of the things that Kevin struggles with. Hey, Sherry, I have a note for you. Email brad@angel.com instead of what I told you before. Instead of contacting us through our socials, which you may or may not know how to do, go ahead and just email brad@angel.com and he'll hook you up with that necklace. Some of the things that Kevin struggles with is definitely something that I've struggled with. For example, Kevin is really quick with his temper. He can get angry very, very quickly. And that's something that I have definitely struggled with in my life. I've never been like physically abusive to anybody, but definitely I have had moments where the frustration takes over and I go from 0 to 10 just like that. I think I've certainly gotten better at it. Writing a movie like this can be a little bit therapeutic in that way. But yeah, admittedly, Kevin and some of the things that Kevin says, some of the arguments that he has with his wife, not too far off from some of the arguments that I've had with my wife. So the answer is Kevin. Kevin is the character that I most identify with. All right. Well, thank you all very much for joining me tonight. I hope that you loved the teaser trailer. I'm anxious to go and look at your comments. There is another trailer coming. We're working on it right now. We're working on this film. It's getting going. It's getting completed. If you go to angel.com/helives, you can check out our empty tomb necklaces. We had tonight we announced our gold necklace, been much requested, and it is now available for purchase. And these do make great gifts. We've gotten a really great response from those who receive them from Easter. We have Mother's Day coming up. Not a bad time for you to check out our necklaces. I think a lot of moms are going to enjoy them. I know that my wife, as soon as she saw the gold necklace, she was like, "Oh, I want that one." She has a one already, obviously, but she's really excited about the gold. We've never had that before. So thank you very much. And, be sure and watch our socials. Check out the Shift Fan Club on Facebook as well. If you want to connect with other fans like yourself, and also see some of the tidbits I drop between live streams. Sometimes I'll just put something in there just for the fan club, and they get little sneak peeks at things that nobody else does. So that's a good place to check out more things. I bet you want to see the trailer again, don't you? We'll show it one more time. Good night, everybody.